When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh, here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable.
Hi guys, this is your girl Nurse Ash. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about tips on passing your NCLEX PN. So without further ado, we're going to get right into this video. I don't want this video to be too long, so let's do it. So my first tip to passing your NCLEX PN is going to be know your stuff. Know your stuff. I cannot say this enough, but some people go through nursing school and they think that they can trick the system. And what I mean by that is they cheat. So it helps if you know your stuff. So some people, they go through school and they cheat. Remember that school is preparing you for the NCLEX, which is your ultimate goal. Without passing the NCLEX, you can go to school for years and years at a time, but if you do not, you know, like study your stuff, know your stuff, I don't know what to tell you. So my tip number one is to know your stuff. Let me put on the brakes for y'all. Well, I just wanted to let y'all know, because I didn't say it in the video, but there is no cheating when you take your NCLEX. None whatsoever. There are cameras everywhere. So don't play yourself. Since we have this video paused, I might as well go ahead and say, if you have made it this far, what are you waiting for? If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I do videos on lifestyle, beauty, and also nursing. So join the family. Those of you who have returned, thank you very much. I very much appreciate you guys' support. Now back to the video. So my next tip is take some kind of review. There's all kind of reviews that you can take. I suggest that you take like an in-classroom review. That really helps me. Luckily for me, my program had a review course at the end. I did take advantage of that, which was like a couple of weeks after our last day of school, and the majority of my class was at that review. They are going to give you as much information about that test, because they themselves don't know what's on that test, what you're going to get, because it's computer operated. So they will tell you like the style of the questions, and they will show you how to answer that question even if you might not know it. So they will teach you how to answer those questions like that, like the keywords to look for. So like if they're looking for safety, they want to know if you are a safe nurse. That's a big one for nursing. And what words to look for. What are they really asking you? You might have this big paragraph and it has nothing to do with the answer or what they're trying to ask you. I strongly suggest that you do get, you know, a review. That is going to be a big advantage for you. So even when you don't know a question, remember that you still have a chance of, you know, getting that question right. I cannot even tell you how many questions I got on my NCLEX that I had no freaking clue. Like, even I had one question that I went any, mini, money, mo on. Like, you just never know what you're gonna get. So take a review. It helps. Yeah, it's a big plus. My tip number 3 is going to be know the nursing process. Know your Maslow stuff. Know your pharmacology drugs, as many as you possibly can. I know on my test they threw a lot of pharmacology questions at me, and I feel like the test, even they did tell us at our review that the test goes to your weak point. The first few questions is like tester questions. They're trying to see where your head is. And then after that, it's all ball game. So the computer goes where you're weak, where they feel that where they feel that you are weak at. So they're gonna throw a lot of the weak points at you, which for me, pharm was very hard. Like, how can you remember a drug and you can't even pronounce it, you know? So the computer really went hard at me with pharm, because I think it sensed that pharm was my weak point. It gave me a lot of pharm questions, and that's why I was so discouraged after, you know, I finished my test, because I already knew that I got cheated out of pharm because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So know those things, know your nursing process. That's how you're gonna work. No matter what situation you go in, you're gonna work through your nursing process. That's what you're gonna do. So you want to know that. You want to know Maslow. You want to know your pharmacology drugs. So those are the things that you can study traditionally, just so you know how to operate. If you don't already know, you should, because you've probably been doing that all the way through nursing school. But you want to know those kind of things, and when you get to a question, use that. Use your nursing process. Use what you have been taught. So yeah, that is my tip number 3. Tip number 4. Please, please, please don't go back trying to study stuff unless it's like the nursing process and stuff like that, or drugs or something like that. But what I want you to do is just practice questions. They have all sorts of books. They have all sorts of apps that you can get right on your phone when you're just, you know, maybe you're at a doctor's appointment. You can go through questions when you're just sitting at home. Just study questions. My biggest mistake that I made was trying to go over information, feeling like I was not sufficient enough to take this test. I wasted so much time, you know, studying, but none of that stuff even mattered. What mattered is you understood. You understood, because they're not going to give you questions in the traditional way. Be confident in yourself. You have what it takes. So all you want to do is take those study questions and go for it. And when you're doing your study questions, I also recommend that if you get a question wrong, try to get like an app that gives you rationale. And don't just look at the answers rationale. Look at also the wrong answers rationales. So look at the whole rationale. Understand why you got that question wrong. Tip number 5, please, please have confidence in yourself, guys. You know this. You've been through school. You gotta know something because you passed those tests. If you made it through this far, you've graduated, you've took all your tests, you've passed them. Take your tests as soon as you get that number. We were fortunate enough, we didn't graduate when everybody else was graduating, so we got our numbers fairly quickly. Like, they came right away. So what I did is, like, I believe it was like a week after graduation, I got my number to test. I went on ahead, paid my fee, and I scheduled my test. I believe it was like 3.5 weeks after I graduated. But yeah, take that test as soon as you get that number. You know your stuff. Be confident. You're going to be nervous. That is normal. I don't know anybody that goes in that test like chilling and passes it. Like, That's a normal feeling, because this is a big thing. Like, this is what the time has come that you've been waiting for forever. So those are my tips, guys. Please, I know so many people who take that test a year, 6 months. That is too long. Go take your test. Go take your test. Go take your test. You know your information. You graduated. You have it. And remember that they are not the NCLEX does not test you as if you should know everything. They just want you to be a safe nurse. They don't want you going in there and killing somebody. So basically, they're testing to make sure you are safe. They're testing you on an entry level. So guys, I thank you for watching this video. I hope that this video is helpful to you guys, and I hope that you guys are successful in taking your NCLEX PN. And hold up, bonus tip. My bonus tip to you guys is, I don't care if you don't believe in God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Let me tell you something. Whatever you believe, if you believe in the chair in your dining room, you want to pray. Whatever your higher power is, pray, because that is going to get you through. That calmed me down. Take all the stress off of yourself and give it to your higher power, because God, for me, my higher power is God, the one and only God. When I took my test, before I went to bed that night, I had cramps so bad that day, because I knew in the morning I had to go take this test, and I did an early appointment too. And I'm not even a morning person. So I did do my test like at 8 o'clock in the morning. The night before, I started cramming because I started panicking. Don't do it. Do a couple questions, go to bed, eat, take a bath, get pretty, have time ahead of you. Just make yourself comfortable. The things that make you comfortable. If you like to go out to eat the night before, go out to eat. If you drink, have a drink. Relax. Don't get drunk. I don't want you to be having a hangover while you're doing your NCLEX. But just calm yourself. Whatever that is that calms yourself. For me, I was at home cramming. I remember my teachers and them telling me, do not do that. So I stopped myself. I start praying. I told God, this is in your hands at this point. Whatever the situation turned out to be, it's in your hands. So I just took all that anxiety and gave it to God. And so that calmed me down. I wasn't completely calmed down, but it took a lot off of me. I prayed before I went to sleep. When I got up the next morning, I prayed for like 30 minutes. When I was driving, I was praying. I was talking to God like he was right in the seat next to me. I got up nice and early. I ate breakfast. I did everything that made me comfortable. So then I got in my car. I was talking to God all the way to the place. I didn't know where I was going. My GPS was on. My gospel music was on. So do something that calms you and soothes you before you go to that test. Not gonna say I wasn't scared. I was scared as hell, but I passed on the first try. I did not have to take that test over. And I hope this video was very informational for you guys. I try to give you as much information as I possibly can. The one things that I want you to remember is, do not study the traditional way. Do lots of questions and take that test as soon as possible. And also, do not, guys, cheat through school. It is not beneficial, no way or the other at all. Learn your information and go kick it. I'll see you guys in the next video.
We'll rise up from the dust.